Joanna, I have something that I'd like to ask you. I'm sure you're doing okay now, right? It's been such a long time since the last time we both chatted.
Bridget, what do you want?
What? How cold of you. Your own little sister is the one contacting you right now out of kindness. So why are you responding to me in such a cold and uncaring tone?
Hey, who are you trying to act as, contacting me like this after so long?
Who am I trying to act as? A beautiful woman, of course. I'm sorry that I became so much more beautiful than you ever did. This is so sad. You get what this means, right?
I wasn't talking about that at all. Bridget, did you forget what happened 2 years ago between you and I?
What? Was there something bad that happened back then?
You frickin' ran over my son while you were drunk driving. Since then, my son hasn't been able to frickin' walk. And even now, he's having to use a wheelchair to get around, all because his awful aunt ran him over.
What? He's still not walking? Isn't that a little bit, a pain in the butt?
Huh? What the hell did you just say?
If he just gave a little bit more effort, I'm sure he'd be just fine and healed right now. I think you're just spoiling your boy a bit too much there. Is it because you're his mother that you treat him like he's done nothing wrong?
Are you actually saying that about us right now? I have not forgotten a single thing about what happened on that day, Bridget. So you have no right talking about my little boy like that.
Come on now, he's still alive, so what's actually the problem here? He never ended up having to fight for his life or anything, right? You're just over-exaggerating is all now, since he ended up all right.
And you said that exact same crap back when I was trying to take you down after what you did. When are you going to grow up and confess for your crimes?
Hold on, it wasn't even me back then.
Even though you were the only other person in the yard at the time? Who else could it have been that stumbled out of their car drunk after running my son over?
God, you're really getting on my nerves now. You really want me to apologize to you that badly for what happened then? You think that me saying I'm sorry for all of that is going to fix your son's bent legs? Don't you think you're being a little too irrational here?
Well, if you're not going to say or do anything worth my time, don't ever talk to me again.
Oh, that's right. That's what I wanted to say. The main point of my talking with you this time, all right? It has nothing to do with your son and him being a cripple still. I wanted to talk with you about how I want one of your kidneys. Since I'm your cute little sister, you're going to donate one of your kidneys to me, right?
Huh? Don't you get that something like that will never, ever happen? Now, goodbye forever.
What? Hold on a second, Joanna. Can't you see you're being a little bit too closed off from me with your answer there? Are you not even going to ask for my reason why I need the kidney?
I really don't care about you, Bridget. And if you end up dying because of whatever illness you have now, I might just go and celebrate with some of my friends. You also don't have anything to do with my son anymore, so none of what happens with you will affect us any.
What? You're really saying things like that about me now? All that happened with your son is his legs went all whack is all right? Right now, I'm sick with something that's literally going to kill me.
And so what? You don't like the fact that what you gave is being given right back to you now? A person like you who doesn't even feel sorry about the fact that you took a little boy's ability to walk away from him means that nobody should care about you dying over some illness. You are the worst kind of scum, and scum like you deserves to go to hell. Perhaps this is your punishment for what you've done.
Don't say things like that to me. You're the only person I can ask for help now, Joanna. So could you please give me one of your kidneys to help save my life?
Huh? I already told you no and said all of those things with the purpose of getting my point across to you.
So you really are the same stubborn old bitch that you'd always been, huh? What the hell do you want me to do in order to make you happy? If I go ahead and apologize to you, will you then give me a kidney?
Well, the best you can do is give apologizing to me a try and see what happens. Because up until now, I have still not received any form of apology from you.
What? What a frickin' pain. So in the end, all you've really wanted was an apology from me, huh?
Confess to what you've done and apologize for it. I'm asking you to do the bare minimum for me here, as a human being should be able to do.
Jesus, all right already. I'll confess what I've done to him. I'm sorry for running over your son. So now, could you please just forget about me hitting him that day and putting him in his wheelchair for life?
So are you confessing to the fact that you did run over my son?
Yes. I'm confessing to that right now for you. Now hurry up and hand me one of your kidneys right now.
Well, that's it for you now. You're done for. You're done both within this world and done in terms of your own health. I've been prepared to end you this whole time, and you have finally made that very possible for me.
What? What the hell are you going on about right now? You're going to give me one of your kidneys soon, right?
I never said anything to you about me giving up one of my kidneys. I just said for you to begin by confessing to what you've done and apologizing for it.
What the hell is this? Did you just set me up just then?
Who the hell do you think set you up here? The reason all of this is having to happen to you now is because of all the crap you pulled 2 years ago. All you had to do was apologize for what you'd done by hitting my son with your car and sending him to the hospital. Yet instead, all you did was act like you'd done nothing wrong at all and never once showed any sympathy to either one of us. You really think that I was going to forgive a pile of crap like you after all of that?
But you can just give birth to more sons if you're not happy with the way your current one has turned out. I'm the only little sister you have, and you can't get me back. And to me, you're the only sister that I have. There's nobody else but you that I can rely on for help here.
Allow me to say this then. I know about everything that has to do with you. About all the things you'd been doing for the past 3 years.
Huh? What are you going on about right now?
I know about how you've been having a relationship with my husband. I know all the details about every second of your relationship with him.
What? No, wait, what are you actually going on about right now? I really don't have a clue what you mean by all of that.
You started to have something with my husband a while back that turned into you both dating behind my back. And then at one point you wanted for my husband to leave me and go marry you instead. But you had no clue how to make that happen until one day you got so close to blackout drunk before getting in your car and driving out to my house of all places where my son and I were playing in the front yard. And it was there that you drove over the curb and right at him in a fit of rage, crushing his legs in an attempt to strike out at me. Correct?
All of that. You don't have any evidence to prove it, all right? You really are such a bitch for coming up with such a fantasy as that.
It's not a fantasy of mine. I found all of the evidence from that terrible day after spending so much time going through all kinds of camera footage and speaking with plenty of witnesses. And just a second ago, you went ahead and confessed to hitting my son with your car, which means I am 100% ready to take you to court and sue your ass for what you've done. Hence why I was saying that you are done for now.
I knew that you were tricking me there. You never cared about giving me one of your kidneys from the start. You went and made me confess all so that you could hurt me in the end, huh? You are the worst for doing something like that to me.
Who do you really think is the worst person here? Having a relationship with your older sister's husband and getting upset with her about not leaving him and taking her son out over it? The reason you came hurling home drunk in that car of yours was because you were out drinking with my husband, right? My husband told me he would be out drinking all day with some men from work, but in reality, he was out getting screwed up with you at a bar.
Shut your mouth right now. What does all of that even matter? You really are so miserable, aren't you, Joanna? Having everything taken away from you by your gorgeous little sister. You already lost your husband to me, and then you almost lost your son as well after I slammed into him with my car going 40. You are quite literally the most miserable person ever.
Yes, and that's why there is nothing you can do now that will stop me.
Joanna, that pretty much means you're going to come after me, trying to ruin my life now, all because yours is hell. Do you even have a clue what you're saying right now?
I'm not listening to anything a killer like you has to say about me. My son never did anything wrong, yet he has to lose his legs because of some emotional and drunk child?
All you had to do was be closer with that husband of yours. Then you could make more children instead of crying about one ending up a little defective. Come on now, your husband was so good looking and was amazing in bed. Go and get back together with him now, and then you can let him get you pregnant again and have that crippled son replaced.
I should have known you'd never be able to understand the kinds of emotions I've been having to deal with since that tragic day. Especially when I consider the fact that you were the one that did all of this to my son and I. And that's the reason why you just assume that my son means nothing to me as well, right? Because how you've lived your life all along is by going around and taking everyone else's things and then throwing them out when you're done with them.
All right. There's no need to go on about all of that now. I'm at fault for all of this, right? That should be enough to make you happy then. I've apologized for what I did, so could you please give me a kidney now, for God's sake?
I've been telling you that it's not happening, right? I'm going to make sure you pay for all the things you did to my son and I, and that's going to start by getting you into that courtroom. So get yourself ready for that. Bryce, I was able to do it. I was able to get my sister to confess to both her crimes and being with my husband. I have the evidence for that right here on my phone now after all that texting between us. We'll finally be able to sue her without question.
Wait, really? So you were contacted by Bridget then? Why would she get in touch with you again after all she'd done to everyone before?
She just started to text me again out of the blue for one reason or another that I don't really care about. But the main thing she kept asking me for was that I give her one of my kidneys. Sounds like she's on her deathbed or something right now. But none of that means anything to me, so I made sure to talk right over all of that.
What? Are you sure she wasn't trying to be a bit more serious about all of that?
Anything that has to do with her is not important to me, okay? I'd been trying to contact her for so long now, but she never once replied to me. However, today she just came out of left field talking to me as though nothing ever happened. I was wondering what that was all about and actually wanted to listen for a bit until she began to speak like she was still this great person that happens to be better than me still and about how I'm this miserable woman. When all of that started, I lost interest in whatever she had to say about wanting my kidney. However, I knew I could use what she was saying to my advantage and get her to confess what she'd done.
Way to go! That was a fantastic move on your part then. Now we have all the evidence we need in order to take her down. Seriously, you did a great job there getting her to confess like that. Great work, Joanna.
Thank you so much, Bryce. I'm sorry, though, for getting you involved in all of this because you're a lawyer. I just want you to know that I really am thankful for everything you've done for me thus far.
Why are you bringing all those feelings up with me now? I never said that I was doing any of this feeling like I needed to be thanked. I was worried about you and your son, and want to make sure that the both of you get the outcomes you deserve. And after all this investigating we've been doing, more and more terrible things have come out about that woman. We both knew that you needed to go and tell your husband about a lot of things you found out about him. But we also knew that if you did, we wouldn't have been able to get the evidence we have now.
It may have been really hard on me, but it was the right choice there. I'm sure all of this has really been stressing you out a bunch. Ever since that high school reunion where our paths crossed again, you've been worried about me. And I thank you for that. This has been hard on everyone involved, but I'm so happy we've been able to figure out all the truths in this mess. And you coming in to help me gather everything in order to take her to court is something I will always thank you for. I'm sure this has been one of your toughest cases, right?
It might be, but this is all a part of my job in the end, right?
I suppose so. Thank you, Bryce. Had I never had you around, I could never have come this far. So thank you.
Now let me be clear about something. After we're finished with all of this, I want you to become happy again. And I mean that. By the way, I have a really good friend in the rehabilitation industry, and we've been talking a lot recently. We talked about your son quite a bit, and he should be able to get him in there to try treating him. So if you have some time here soon, would you like to come with me and go see the facility on a tour with the owner? Your son's a fine young man, and the owner's very interested in helping him out as well. So I know for a fact that they would love to start working on fixing those legs of his.
What? Are you serious? You've been doing all of that for me as well?
My friend and I have known one another for some time now. Consider him the kind of person that loves to have connections, much like I do, which means me asking him about taking your son on was nothing at all for me. And it was the least I could do to help try and get your son back to the way he was 2 years ago. I know it might not be everything he needs, but I really do hope that going there helps.
Thank you, Bryce. I really do appreciate everything you've done for us. Now I won't have to worry as much about finding someplace else to help my son. Now all I need to do is go have that talk with my husband about this. I know that he has a lot of pride in himself, but since I've waited this long and have all the evidence I need now, things shouldn't be as complicated as they were before. I hope.
Yeah, that's right. Things should go pretty easy for you now, and he shouldn't have the ability to get all up in your face about everything anymore. Things will be just fine.
I really hope so. Thank you again, Bryce. Now, let's finish all of this together. There is no way in hell. Why is this all happening when you both are supposed to be getting a divorce now? Why isn't Devin going to choose me now? I will not allow this to happen. I cannot accept this.
You just talked through all of this with him a second ago, right? He told you himself why he's not going to choose you. I don't have anything to do with what's been happening between you both, and I'm not about to start hearing about it all now. You understand that, right? You think I want anything to do with a relationship that took place between my little sister and my husband? Even thinking about what's happened makes me sick, and I'd rather die than have to talk with you about it anymore. Devin made his choice to lay his hands on his wife's younger sister. Seriously, I want to vomit right now after having said that.
But then, why is he still choosing to be with you? All of that crying and begging that he did there, I don't get it. Isn't he the one that stabbed you in the back before? Yet now he's crying about how he doesn't want to leave you for me. I'm the one that should be crying right now about all of this.
Wait, what the hell are you saying? The both of you are the offenders here, right? The only one who should be crying right now is me and my son, considering that he is the number one victim in all this. You guys were the ones that started having that affair behind my back. And then when you started to get really drunk, you began to hate me for having a son with him. That then led to you getting in your car and coming all the way to my house and hitting my son out of spite. You are both the ones that are to blame for what happened then, and you should be both on your hands and knees now apologizing to my son and I.
But I have really been in love with Devin all along. I thought that no matter what I did, Devin would always be there to take my side and defend me. But the moment he heard that you knew about all his cheating, why is he turning his back on me like that now of all times?
The fact that he was even defending you like that after you almost killed our son makes him a psychopath. Had I never said anything about how I knew he'd been with you, he would still be cussing me out and acting like I was crazy. He would still be going on about how he's too handsome to have just me and that he could get any woman he wanted. Up until now, all of that was seriously disgusting. And like I was saying before, having to think about him has really made me want to vomit.
I thought that the day would come where you both got divorced and he'd come marry me. I've been looking forward to that for so long now. Devin was always saying to me that he'd have the divorce take place real soon and for me to sit back and wait a bit longer. That's why I sat by like a good girl and waited for him.
A good girl would never sleep with her sister's husband and would never run over her nephew. Well, this has all left me feeling a bit better now. I was able to get all of those things you guys said on tape as well. All I have left to do now is talk with my lawyer and take this to court, so be ready for my lawyer to get in touch with you really soon here. I'm not going to be talking with either one of you anymore on my own from now on.
You don't have the right to do something like that to us, right? You don't have to. You still have everything you started out with. You still have your husband's love, and your son is still with you. What else do you want that you don't already have?
Money? Do you have any idea how much money it cost for my son to sit in the hospital for 3 months, go through all those operations, and now have to go through rehab nonstop? Sure, my husband has paid a little, but I've been having to take on most of the costs myself. I'm going to make you pay loads for all the damage you've caused, so I hope you're ready for that.
Then, at the very least, give me one of your kidneys first. If I don't at least pay you anything, then there's no point in any of this, right?
Not going to happen. If I was willing to give up one of my precious organs right now, I'd rather give it up to someone who is an angel at heart and would never do anything like drive under the influence and run over a child. There is also the chance that my son might need a kidney from me in the future, and if I didn't have a spare one to donate to him, then I'd be devastated. I don't have anything to give to a witch like you.
Don't say something like that. Your son is still so young, so you don't have to worry about him, right? How about you worry about him when and if something like that happens?
I have always thought something as serious as this could happen with my son, though, considering Grandpa had the same problems with his kidneys. There is always the chance that my son never has to have that kind of life-threatening illness, but I can't say there never will be. So I'm keeping my kidneys just in case and won't be wasting them on someone like you.
Please don't say things like that. If you don't, then my life...
And like I was saying before, I do not care if my choice here leads to you dying, and I'll most likely go out and celebrate it. There's no reason for you to be living anymore anyway after what you did. Having a psycho like you still walking around after having run over a child, taking away his ability to walk, and never feeling any form of remorse after that is far worse for this world than anything else.
You don't have to say that kind of crap about me, right?
You went and stole my son's freedom from him, and you went and laid your hands on my husband. You went and ruined parts of my life, so you having to go burn in hell for your actions is necessary to me. I want you to go rot away, since that's all you're good for now. Enjoy the hell that you've set yourself up for, and stay there eternally like the rest of your rotten kind.
Congratulations for your son's success. Seeing him walk again like that really makes him a strong little fighter. Having watched him fight so hard like that, I was on the verge of bawling my eyes out every single time. I'm so sorry for sounding so emotional right now about this, but I'm just so proud of the little guy.
Bryce, the fact that you stood there beside the two of us on this long and hard journey makes me appreciate you more than anyone else. Thank you. I'm so happy right now that I can't stop myself from crying over and over again. And seeing the both of us crying over him like this must really make my son know just how much he's loved. Seriously, Bryce, thank you for everything you've done for us.
After all that hard work he put in, he went through all that rehab that was laid out for him and is now able to walk on his own again. I've never been so emotionally open like this in my whole entire life. Seeing your son fight like that has made me cherish my life even more now, and I want to fight harder myself. Being moved by your son like that, thank you guys.
Ever since you got us into that rehabilitation center through your friend and connection, my son's been able to recover so much quicker. Until that happened, he'd always been so down about what happened to him and could never focus on pushing himself harder to overcome the challenge of getting his legs back. It was like he'd used some form of magic in order to walk like he does now, thanks to you, Bryce. You are the man I am most thankful for, thanks to everything you've done for my son and I. Thank you.
Hearing you say all that about me makes me so happy. If I've really become that much of a help to your son, then that only means he'll become even more of a help to me now.
Thank you so much.
Next time, I'd like to invite both you and your son to come out for dinner with me. I'd like for you both to have some really high-class and delicious foods.
Of course. But allow me to be the one inviting you out this time. After all, it was you who did everything for the two of us.
No, allow me to treat the both of you. Because of your son, I have become so much more confident in myself. Also, there is something serious I have to say to you, Joanna, so please, I want you to come out for dinner with your son on me.
What? All right, okay. Then I suppose I'll be really looking forward to this dinner you're taking us to then. My little sister having to go to court and face a trial for what she'd done to my son and I all happened a year ago now. I was able to then divorce my husband, getting both settlements from him and Bridget for what they'd done. And all that money has gone towards paying off my son's medical bill so that he can finish rehab. He's been fighting really hard all year long, and the doctors are finally saying he's ready to end his work there and go back out into the world walking freely again. Bryce has been making time lately to come out and see my son and I more, and seeing him there supporting us even after everything is finished makes me forget all the horrors I had to go through in the past. And ever since he started to come out and see my son more, the relationship we share has grown very close. And we're in talks now about getting married next year. Of course, my son is also a big fan of that, which means all there is left to do is wait for Bryce to propose to me. We're already living in the same house together most of the time as a happy family of 3 that can withstand any sort of problem.
Thank you for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We look forward to seeing you at the next story.